I'm going to go to you first here, Gal.
Yep.
The bunker. We haven't had a good blow-up about the bunker here on the show for quite some time. Where do you stand on the call for Jake Trbojevic and that try to be called back?
Look, I heard everything Gus and Joey and the boys said on the call yesterday, and I absolutely agree with every single part of it, including the part where they said Jake Trbojevic stopped in the line. You can't stop in the line. You just can't stop in the line. He stops in the line. Listen, Moretti is looking for an excuse there. I got no doubt he's looking for an excuse. I'm moving with Gus. I got no doubt he probably doesn't get there. But the fact is, if Jake Trbojevic completed his job, went through the line like he's supposed to do, Moretti doesn't have the opportunity to find an excuse. And that's exactly what he found, an excuse, because Jake Trbojevic stopped in the line. We all know you can't stop in the line. It's quite simply not a try.
You want me to respond to that rubbish?
Tell me
That's rubbish.
How's it rubbish?
That's rubbish.
How's it rubbish?
That's absolutely
rubbish. As an attacking player,
he had absolutely no intention of chasing that play.
I'm with you there.
None whatsoever.
He was looking for an excuse. You've got to remember, do you remember what Joey said?
Jake stopped short of the line, actually, and he walked over and patted him on the back to say, I've got you.
If he doesn't stop in the line, he has no reason for an excuse. I remember Joey spoke moments before that. He said we're about 5 minutes of play at the moment, which means, I think he said something like that, their heart rates must be absolutely redlining at the moment, and they would have been. And he said good players just find a way to get through it. Moretti found an excuse. There was an excuse there for him, and he went and found that excuse. He ran into Jake Trbojevic.
So that's what the game's about, finding excuses to use the bunker as a defender.
Moretti got a penalty.
Is that what it is?
Moretti got a penalty a moment after that. He got hit off the ball and fell over. And I heard you say
that's you and Wade Graham back at Cronulla.
Mate, there you blame. It was Greg Bird. It was Greg Bird last year. Now it's Wade Graham.
He did it too. I wonder where he got that idea from.
Now listen. I heard you
making a fool of the rules and making a fool of the bunker. Suddenly, that's the game's fault.
No, it's not the game's fault. It's no one's fault. What happened? It's whose fault it was.
Why is
Jake wasn't there. It doesn't happen.
Why is
Jake is as honest as the day is long. If you ask Jake, should you have stopped in the line? I guarantee he'll answer no. I shouldn't have. I should have got through.
Where was he going to go?
Through the line like he's supposed to.
Where was he going to? He was finished. His run was finished.
Mate, Gus,
his run was finished. He never looked like getting the ball. He was never going to get the ball. There is absolutely no... That is an embarrassment to our code. That is an embarrassment to refereeing. Mate, that is an embarrassment to the people who make the rules and enforce the rules. And I don't know what's happened. I've stopped listening to the Monday report about whether it's right or wrong because they get all that wrong too. But that is an embarrassment to anyone who supports this decision. It's embarrassing. Yeah, embarrassing.
This is where you get me, because I'm going to say, I agree it's embarrassing. Moretti was looking for an excuse to take a shortcut.
So two wrongs don't make a right.
No, but he had an excuse there. If Trbojevic doesn't stop in the line, he doesn't have the opportunity to find that excuse.
So we make
Trbojevic should not have stopped in the line. I guarantee you go and ask Jake Trbojevic, should he have stopped? Did he complete his mission? He would say, no, I never.
So they make excuses.
Are you happy with the performance of the bunker overall to start the season, Gal? Is there any?
No, look, the one last week I spoke about, where I think it was the Warriors, where he ran the inside shot. He done the perfect thing. He ran the exact line he had to do, and he was still penalised for it. That was a terrible call. Look, I think they've got this obstruction rule right. I think it's got to be black and white, because I think it comes down to a person's interpretation. Every VRS interpretation is different, so I'm happy with the way they rule on that. If you stop in the line and you obstruct someone in any way of getting there, it should be a penalty. But overall, they've probably been great, the referees. They probably haven't been great. I remember last year, the start of last year, we weren't talking about too much at all. They were pretty good. But the first probably 3 rounds, they probably haven't been great.
I just feel for Jake, because you know he's going to be really hard on himself.
100% he will be. He's as honest as the day is long. And if you ask Jake about that particular play, he will say, I did not complete my job.
I'll have a talk to Jake.
Ring him and ask him.
Tell him to stand up for himself. That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And it goes along with half a dozen that I saw over the weekend. Anyway, no good arguing with fools.
Stay with us. You're watching 100% Footy.